Good evening and welcome to Thriving and Maximizing Your Health. I am Colleen McCarter and I am here with my good friend Trudy Burrell, and we are going to get started. So, welcome everybody. Hi, I'm Colleen and I'm the owner and founder of Sustainwell. I have a BS in nutrition and dietetics, and I am here with my good friend Trudy, who also has a fitness coaching background. And Trudy, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Trudy Burrell, and I am the owner of Synergy Fitness. I'm a certified health, wellness, and nutrition coach, as well as a personal trainer. I'm very passionate about preventive care. How can we prevent something from happening before it happens?
Well, welcome, Trudy. I'm so glad we've partnered for this topic, and boy, are you all in for a treat. So let's get started. We're going to be talking about three areas when it comes to maximizing your health. We're going to talk about well being, nutrition, and fitness, and you will just be blown away by the information. Well being starts with self care. So, Trudy, tell us a little bit about self care.
Yes, self-care is actually caring for yourself. It's making sure that you're taking care of you because we know that we cannot take care of anyone else if we do not take care of ourselves first. Self-care looks differently to everybody based on where you are in your life and what you consider to be a part of self-care.
Now,
And of
Judy, tell me a little bit about a lot of women that I deal with or coach, and I'm sure similar to you, think it's selfish to take care of themselves. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts is no, it's not because truly we cannot take care of anyone else unless we take care of ourselves first. I believe that that was a learned behavior because that was something that was taught to me by my mom, and it was taught to my mom by her mom, that it was always you put your family and everybody else first, and you're on the back burner, you come last. But you can't give out of an empty glass. You can't give out of an empty vessel. So taking care of yourself first is important so that you can really care for the ones that you love.
Wow, great, great. You put it so well. So I hope the ladies really learn from that. So now we're going to be talking about stress, and I'm going to talk a little bit about stress, the importance of stress, and what it actually is. And stress is either physical or biological, is an organism's response to a stressor, such as our environmental conditions. Stress is the body's method of reacting to a condition, such as a threat, challenge, physical, or psychological barrier. So when I think of stress, and Trudy's going to go into more detail, is you have a certain physiological response to maybe what's going on with this current COVID situation. So Trudy, tell us a little bit more about stress and how to manage it.
Yeah, and once again, I told you that my passion was always preventive care, or once something is in a stage, how do we actually deal with it? Some of my ways of dealing with stress, and it's different for everyone. Once we actually have a consultation, I can actually pinpoint what may work for you. But some of the ways of dealing with stress may be exercise or taking a bubble bath, taking a long walk. Essential oils are very big. Lavender in your diffuser, listening to some calming music, practicing mindfulness, living in that moment and zero in on what's going on at that moment. Another way to deal with stress is a grateful heart, thinking about what you're grateful for. Even though everything around you may be chaotic, what are you grateful for in that moment? So many ways to handle stress is just helping someone to pinpoint. And if all else, there's always something powerful that I may take, which is called ashwagandha. It's an old ancient herb, and it actually helps your body along with B vitamins to deal with stressful situations as well.
Wow, thanks, Trudy, for that.
You're welcome.
Now we're going to talk about mindfulness, and mindfulness is different for everybody. So Trudy shared with me kind of her take. So I'd like you, Trudy, to tell a little bit about your take on mindfulness.
Yes, my take on mindfulness is living in the moment. We have so much going on in our life, but what about just focusing on what's going on in that moment? It's
Hmm.
almost like finding yourself in a very quiet place and finding that center, reconnecting with your body, um, practicing what's going on in that moment, closing your eyes and just like meditating. That could actually help you to be mindful, which can actually help with stress, with sleeping, and everything else that's going on in your life.
And I like how Trudy put it because it's, practicing the moment. And when I think of mindfulness or when I try to talk to people, mindfulness about what you're eating and what's on your plate, a lot of times we're just so fast at, getting everything done, the do of everything, especially in this situation with the virus, or even just in family life. It's putting the food on the table and we got to go, go, go. So we really want you all to be, more mindful and practicing living in the moment as you move forward, as you're listening to this presentation. How can you take whatever we're telling you and do a small piece of it, right, Trudy?
Right.
Now we're talking a little bit about sleep as part of our well-being and self-care. So sleep, a lot of people don't really take it too seriously, but it is so important to know that what is real sleep versus just rest. And sleep, it really helps with brain development. It also helps with the heart, weight gain or loss, the immune system, and so much more in sleep. And our body really repairs as we rest. So, Trudy, tell us the recommendations in the preventive side, or what are the people out there saying as far as sleep? What do you recommend to your clients?
What I recommend, there's so many things. To me, sleep is it's preparing for bed starts earlier than actually going into the bed. It's like a ceremony. It's almost as if you're preparing your body to have a quality night of sleep. Whether that means shutting your cell phone off early, that blue light can zap your melatonin. So you definitely want to shut those devices off at an early time. Watch the movies that you're watching. Monitoring the movies. Even as far as your conversations and things that you're eating, all of this can actually help prepare your body for sleeping or getting quality of sleep. One of the things that I do recommend to help you unwind is something that's called binaural beats. And we'll go deeper into things that can help you with sleep because I have so many recommendations based on me myself, sometimes not having the quality of sleep. But binaural beats actually shut your mind off because our mind is running so
Mhm.
fast that it kind of slows it down, allows you to slow down so that you can actually fall asleep. So many recommendations that I have that we'll share later when we go deeper into the sleep category.
Right. So I'm so glad we put the sleep in, because this might be an area that people could try to, like you said, just learn to unwind and make it a ceremony. So, thanks for sharing that. That is really great that we addressed that today. Now we're going to dive into nutrition, which is a really passionate topic of both Trudy and myself. So let's dig deep and talk and break it down. We're going to break it down, right, Trudy?
Yes.
All right. I think Trudy's going to share with us the macronutrient side, because most people don't know what a macronutrient is. Go take it away.
Yeah, so let's talk about macronutrients. And before I do, I always recommend that someone eat nutrient dense foods. And when we say nutrient dense foods, it's going to line up perfectly with macronutrients. You actually get more bang for your buck when you're eating these foods, and they actually create satiety. So you're less likely to snack or crave things that can actually throw us off of our healthy eating program. So macronutrients, think of three categories. You have carbohydrates, your complex carbs. You have lean proteins, and then you have your fats. Those are your three macronutrients. So when you think about complex carbs, I want you to think of sweet potatoes and quinoa and brown rice and whole grain, whole wheat. I'm sorry. You have whole grain. No, whole grain. I apologize.
That's okay.
You actually want the entire grain, not just the whole wheat. So definitely whole grain. And then your barley and your buckwheat, those are some of your complex carbs. Lean proteins, you want to make sure that you're eating the leanest of the proteins, and kind of like this in the fat. We'll talk more of lean protein as I'm looking at Carlene's slides when we talk about wild salmon versus farm salmon, but we'll go deeper into that. And when we think of fats, your healthy fats, so many are afraid to eat fats and you're buying fat free and low fat, but it's okay to eat healthy fats. So you're thinking about your avocados and your nuts and your seeds and your olive oil and your avocado oil. Those are the healthy fats that are so important for your body and also helps with keeping you satiated.
So Trudy, give us an example because I know we want everybody to thrive during the last, 4 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever we have left in 2020. So
Yes.
give everybody a quick snapshot based on those three macronutrient components you talked about to help keep them satiated for a snack per se in between what they're doing.
Yeah, so a healthy snack like in between their meals, Colleen, is that
Yeah, something like that, or wherever you feel like could help the audience really understand what they need to be eating during this stressful time.
yeah, because if you're eating, and we'll talk more about this once again, but if you're eating your balanced meals, for instance, every meal should consist of a lean protein, a complex carb. And when we say complex carbs, your fruits and veggies actually fall under complex carbs along with the other carbs. So making sure that you're eating that, and that creates a healthy plate with a satiating fat. If you're eating like that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, true hunger occurs every 4 to 5 hours. So you may need a snack, you may not. If you find that you need a snack to bridge that gap, to bridge that hunger between your meals, think about apples and peanut butter, or apples and almond butter. So you have the almond butter, which is a protein, or the peanut butter. You have the apple, which is full of fiber. It does have sugar in it, but the protein is actually going to slow that sugar down into your system, and you have a satiating snack. You can look at hummus and veggies. Hummus is made out of chickpeas. That's another protein. Combine that with veggies, and you actually have a complex carb, which is very low in carbs, but then you also have a protein. Greek yogurt, you're getting some calcium, but you're also, once again, getting that protein from that yogurt. So that's another satiating snack. So there's so many healthy snacks that you can eat, but we'll go much deeper into that when we zero in more into macronutrients.
Great, Trudy. Thanks for just giving the audience a little snapshot of what they could be eating as they continue to join us on this journey to thriving. Now we're talking about micronutrition, and micronutrition is what's actually inside the plant foods that we're eating. It actually has a lot of thousands of nutrients in our body every single day. So for instance, in an apple, there's selenium and cobalt and zinc. And Trudy, what else is in there?
Oh my gosh, apples are packed full of so many things. Yeah, I'm kind of like at a loss, but I think it's so many nutrients. Yeah, and even when I'm thinking about blueberries this time
Right.
of year, when we think about our immune system, both they have very powerful antioxidants that protect your body and your immune system against the elements as well.
And I think that's where, Trudy and I really want to, you have your macro and the micro is kind of like, in a car, it's like you got your engine and then you got all the other pieces, parts. You got the oil, and the micronutrients is the oil that fuels the body at the cellular level. So that's why it's so important to be eating whole food and getting, like Trudy mentioned, blueberries and blackberries and apples and bananas and sweet potatoes and avocados and dark green leafy vegetables. Every vegetable was put on this earth for a healing property of nutrients that are thousands of chemicals that can repair the cells, over time. And Trudy, I know you wanted to go into like the recommendation of what we should be having as far as men and women, especially living in areas where we don't get a lot of sunshine. So kind of give us the three kind of components or four or however many you have to tell us how we're getting the most micronutrition, because our diet is not nutritionally dense. Most people are eating a lot of processed foods and they're not eating the 7 to 13 servings of colors of the rainbow. So share with us what, you've learned and what you tell your clients.
Yeah, and even to add to what Colleen said, when we think about the foods that we're eating and the way they're grown and the way the land is actually toiled and taken care of, we're missing a lot of micronutrients from our foods because of that. And then add to the fact that they're being sprayed with pesticides and
Right.
herbicides and Roundup. All of those toxins desynthesize the food that we're eating. So we're really not getting the micronutrients that we should unless we're buying the dirty dozen organic, which we'll talk about that
Right.
in another
That's
conversation.
another unit.
Yes, yes. So my 5 recommendations that I feel everyone should be taking as far as micronutrients. And then there's more, but that's when we go deeper into a consultation to identify what else you need. Everyone should be taking vitamin D. Vitamin D is actually a vitamin, but it's a hormone. Your body will produce it if you spend enough time in the sun. But you think about, we're in the wintertime or the weather's colder, we're wearing long sleeve shirts, we're protecting our bodies from the elements. Your body's not absorbing the sun and making
Mhm.
vitamin D. So everyone should be on a vitamin D supplement. The next one is either fish oil or algae oil. And the reason why I throw algae oil in there, if you're a vegan like myself, you're not going to do a fish oil, or maybe someone may not want a fish oil. So either a fish oil or an algae oil is a supplement that you want to take. There's so many benefits, which we'll talk about that at a later time as well. A whole food based nutritional supplement is very imperative to make sure that you're getting all the micronutrients that you may not be getting from your food. So those are some recommendations that I feel that mostly everyone should take in addition to your macros that you're eating.
So Trudy, tell how much of the vitamin D, what's the IUs that is out there to
Yeah.
help with the confusion?
Oh, and I forgot probiotics.
Oh,
Everyone, if you're not
yeah,
eating probiotics, make sure that you're eating probiotic rich foods, that or either you're drinking kombucha, but you definitely want to make sure that you're eating fermented food, because 80% of our immune system is made in our gut. And if we're taking care of our gut, then you're going to have a healthier immune system. Now,
right.
back to Colleen's question for vitamin D. Anywhere in the summertime, 1,000 to 2,000 IUs is
Okay.
sufficient. If you're out in the sun and you're wearing short sleeves and shorts, your body's going to absorb it. But as the winter season, which we're in right now, you're not out in the sun and we're wearing coats, anything between 2,000 and 5,000 IUs is something that I suggest. Definitely having your levels tested by your doctor, and they can actually help you to pinpoint it, but up to 5,000 is okay during the season that we're in.
Great. And Trudy did mention a whole food base nutritional supplement. And about 10 years ago, I was introduced to a product called Juice Plus. It is whole food base, fruits and vegetables in a capsule and a chew, very cost effective. It is picked, vine ripened, and then juiced at low temperature. So you're keeping the quality of the nutrients, and it comes in a orchard and a garden blend which is comes together. And then there's a vineyard blend, which is all the berries, those blueberries that Trudy was talking about, the blackberries, the black currant, and it works in synergy because I know for myself, I'm not always eating blueberries this time of year or blackberries or raw cranberries. So you're getting those antioxidants and all the micronutrients that our body needs. So those are, between the vitamin D, right, sounds like we need about 2,000 to 5,000 right now, right, Judy?
Right. Yes.
A probiotic, and then I did, and the fish oil or the algae oil with the that's another product that the Juice Plus company has, is an omega 3, 5, 7, and 9, but it's all plant based, so the fish is actually getting it from its source, so you're not getting mercury and things like that. And that's what is a product that I recommend, and I know Trudy does, too, because there's research behind it. There's over 35 peer-reviewed journals, double blind, talking about putting good food in your body, and it's so important to make sure. We did talk about the pesticides and things and how it's not ripening. So those are some definite things. And we'll go in more detail as the weeks go on. We're going to go keep talking on the nutrition end and get in more detail of macro and micronutrition. Judy, is there anything that you wanted to add on the micronutrient end and nutrition?
No, and we pretty much covered the basics and looking forward to sharing more with everyone.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So we're just moving right along tonight. Now we need to be nutritionally sound, and how do I keep focused on my health? And Trudy, you want to share how you do it, and then I'll piggyback off of you, kind of tell your sound health story, your journey.
Yeah, yeah. So I actually I was obese, and I actually joined a company called Weight Watchers in 1986, and they actually helped me to lose weight. And that's how I met Colleen. We were both Weight Watchers members, and we became Weight Watchers leaders. And when I decided to become a leader, Colleen was actually my mentor that prepared me to actually lead my meetings. So, how do I keep my focus on a daily basis? Is remember my why. When
Mm-hmm.
I remember my why do I want to be healthy? Why do I want to be fit? And my why is quality of life at every age. I'm 56 and I have the energy of a 30-year-old, at least that's what I think.
Yeah,
But
right.
my why is to actually have that quality of life at every age and as I continue to age. So, one of the main reasons is knowing your why. Another way to stay nutritionally sound is to have an accountability partner. Whether you have a partner or you hired a coach, someone that you can be accountable with, someone that can guide you and help keep you on the plan. If you're struggling, they can actually show you areas that you're struggling. You show them areas that you're
Mm-hmm.
struggling in, and together you come up with a way to create a healthy habit out of that. So accountability is very important, whether it's a coach or you're a part of a group, such as, or you're linking up with Colleen or myself, but those are ways to actually keep you focused. And of course, managing my environment. You can't
Oh yeah.
have it. I know that if it's not in my house, I'm not going to eat it. But if there is something that I do want to eat, because I do believe in the 80-20 rule, I will go out and buy one of those items and
Mhm.
I will mindfully eat that item, but it's not in my house to continue to tempt me because I only bought one. But I'm an empty nester that may not work for everyone. For someone that has children in their house and their snacks may be tempting, we'll come up with a plan on how to handle that.
Right. And I love what you shared, Trudy, because we have such similar, journeys, both coming from the Weight Watcher world and living in that area where, weight was always the key focus. And now Trudy and I have really partnered to help each and every one of you be nutritionally sound, to use all the things that we talked about, the well-being, all the tips we shared in well-being, a sound nutritional base, working with a coach, providing a community, that accountability, and managing, that environment that we've always talked about in the meeting room. If you can't manage your environment or manage that stress, the weight can easily come on. So you do need that. So, Trudy and I are going to be really sharing over the next couple of Tuesdays, enhancing and thriving, and how you can really grow and work with us, and how we really want to be that sound partner that can help you keep your weight off and keep it off for long term. So, we're just so excited to be able to come to you and share that. Anything else you want to add, Trudy, on the nutritionally sound piece?
Well, I think that's perfect.
Yeah. So, this is Trudy's angle now, guys. She's going to talk a little bit about fitness. So take it away, Trudy.
Yeah, fitness is so important on our journey. And I want to share, the importance of overall health benefits other than just, growing a booty, which you see so much on Instagram, or I'm being fit because I want larger arms. But what about the other part of fitness where it can help with your health, like control your blood pressure? If someone has arthritis, it actually enables you to move better and move more because you're moving more and it's helping with that. But with fitness, it's about finding something that you like. There's so many avenues with fitness, but once you find something that you enjoy doing, you will actually be more likely to do that. So whether it's dancing, whether it's Zumba, whether it's a treadmill or walking or playing with your kids, for someone else, it may be hitting the gym or weightlifting, but it's all about finding your fit so that you can actually stick with it. So what's recommended is 30 minutes of moderate to low intensity 5 days a week, or 3 times a week, but you're going to actually do anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes to an hour of a higher intensity. So that's recommended just for overall health.
Wow, Trudy, I really like how you brought that, all in. So we really have some options there. So if I'm not you know, I always like, you have clients that say, well, I don't like to exercise. What would be like the recommendation? Like, how would you motivate someone to get started?
Yeah, so how I would do that, I would find out what it is that they like. What's your hobbies? What do you like to do? And then we can actually turn that into finding your fit. Like so many people love music. So walking with their, well, what are we using now? We're using our iPhones and
Yeah,
earbuds and
right.
AirPods right now. Yeah. Or your Beats. So putting that on and walking. It could be doing some activity with your children. It could be shoveling the snow. We're in wintertime now. There's so many YouTube videos that you can scroll through to find your fit. It may be hiring a personal trainer, depending on what it is that you want out of your fitness, to hit those targeted areas. But there's something for everyone. Of course, there's skiing and there's snowboarding. There's so many variations of activity. It's just a matter of helping someone to find their fit.
And then I know we're going to be talking more, in the next couple of weeks, how to guide people through finding their fit. So anybody that tunes in will be able to definitely by the end of the year find something, find a fit, and get on a structured kind of plan that fits for them. So that's exciting, definitely. Now we want you to, this topic was living a thriving life. So Trudy, do you want to like just sum it up for us of, what one takeaway do we want everybody to go away with tonight?
Yeah, one takeaway to actually go away with tonight when you think about living a thriving life is, how do I put this all together? How
Hmm.
do I find that square? How do I find that balance in my life? Because we have family, we have work, we have exercise, we have so much, but how do I piece it all together so that I can live that thriving life? So that's when I think about mind, body, and spirit. When the mind,
Mhm.
body, and spirit connects, which we can definitely assist you with connecting that, that's living a thriving life, eating a healthy nutrition, nutri- living. I don't want to use the word diet, but lifestyle
Mhm.
and the activity that you enjoy doing, having that peace of mind, being balanced in all of that areas, in those areas, that's a perfect way of living a thriving life. It doesn't mean perfect.
Right.
Once things are not perfect, we try to find that balance to pull that back in, or even how can I actually live a thriving life in the midst of the pandemic? How can I live a thriving life in the midst of a divorce, or my dad died in January? How can I live a thriving life in the midst of my dad's not going to be here this year? It's all about reframing our mind,
Mhm.
and it's something that Colleen and I can assist someone with doing when we have consultations with you.
Wow, I think you really put it into a nice bow, everybody. Continue to, join us, follow us. Trudy's information, you can find her at www.synergy.com. IG is Synergy, lowercase fitness. I'm with Sustainwell, same, I have a Facebook page or we have our IGs, and we're just so grateful that you joined us tonight on this topic of thriving and getting that balance. And Judy, tell them what they can look forward to next Tuesday.
Yeah, so next Tuesday we are going to dig deeper into our a few of our topics. So each week we're going to choose a topic that we shared with you tonight, and we're going to dig deeper. So next week we're going to dig deeper into well-being, mindfulness, stress, tying all of that in together to piece that part of your life together and help that to make sense.
And so stay tuned. That's going to be great. Trudy and I really want to help you. And stay tuned each week because we're going to have all sorts of little nuggets. So if you like what you heard, follow Trudy, follow myself, because you don't know what Trudy and I might have to offer you when it comes to the end of the year. We have a lot of surprises. So if you liked our synergy, then stay tuned. Good night, everybody, and thanks.
Thank you, everyone.